What's up guys, this is Chronic Rush HD and welcome to a brand new episode of my FIFA 13 Team of the Week prediction series, and today we're going to be predicting the Team of the Week number 33. So let's get into the substitutes, but before I get onto this Team of the Week, I just want to say that I found this Team of the Week fairly hard to find actually players. No one really performed that well. You did get some players with hat-tricks and stuff like that, and other players, but some of it was kind of hard to get a full starting 11, so you're just gonna have to wait for that to come out, and I'll talk about that a bit more. But let's get into the substitutes, and I've got a fair decent amount for you. So we're going to start off with a bronze player, and that player is going to be Osland. He plays for Saint Mirren in the SBL, and he got 2 goals. I think it was 2 goals and maybe a clean sheet, but as a centre-back, which is fairly decent, and he's probably most likely going to get an informed card. Moving on to the silver players, the first player is going to be this player called Nogueira, and he plays for Sosach in the Liga 1, and they were 2-0 down, I believe. 2-0 down, and they actually came back to win 3-0. This guy scored 2 free kicks and got an assist, so played a very, very important role in that comeback, and I think he deserves an informed card, and 2 free kicks in one game, pretty decent. Moving on to the next player, we have this player called Goossens, John Goossens. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but he plays for Feyenoord in the Vizier, and he got 2 goals and 2 assists, so he's going to probably get an informed card. Moving on to the next player, we have an English player, plays in the Empower Championship, and that is James Vaughan. He plays for Huddersfield, and he got a hat-trick. I'm not sure if he has secured their place in the Empower Championship. I think they're near the bottom, but he's played very, very well, hat-trick as well, so he may be a fairly decent informed card as well. 72 pace, if that goes up to about 75, he could be strong, fairly decent shot and stuff like that. Moving on to the next player, we actually have a player in the Korean League, and he is Ko Yo-han, the right back. He plays for Seoul, and he actually got 2 goals as a right back, so that's pretty decent for him. So may get an informed card. 2 goals is pretty impressive as a right back. Moving on to coming up to the closing stages of the subs, we're going to have a goalkeeper. He plays in the MLS, and this player here, Andy Gurenbauer, I'm not quite sure if I've said that right. It's a kind of a long, odd name, but he plays for Columbus Crew in the MLS, and he got a clean sheet, an amazing game, really good game. Had some amazing saves in their 3-0 win over DC at the weekend. And you could also have this player here, Bardi. He is the young Italian keeper. He plays for Novara in the Serie B, on loan from Internazionale, and he scored the game finished 3-3, but he saved 2 penalties, so you never know, he could get an informed card. However, I decided to put the MLS keeper in, mainly because he did get the clean sheet. 3 goals past him. I know he did save 2 penalties, but 3 goals isn't something to be proud of. So let's move on to the starting 11, and we're going to quickly name this Team of the Week number 33, and we're going to be playing the formation I seem to play all the time. It just fits because I find defenders the hardest people to get in these Team of the Week episodes, mainly because they're obviously not going to score as many goals. It's kind of odd how they choose the centre-backs. I normally go for the ones that got goals, clean sheets, goal and a clean sheet, goal, clean sheet, and assists and stuff like that. But we're going to start off with in goal, and we're going to have the Galatasaray keeper, Muskela. This guy's had a really good season, and he actually looks like a fairly decent keeper at his current stats on his card. And he got a clean sheet and made some amazing good saves. I'm not quite sure the number, but he played pretty decent. I'm not sure if he's gonna. I'm not actually sure when they're releasing Team of the Season or whatever it is called, and he may be in it. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it either, because I swear they used to do it in where they did every league and did the team of that league, shall I say. But the Turkish league only has 1 team in it, so it's it's going to be obviously fairly biased in the fact that they're all going to probably be Galatasaray players. So if they add more Turkish league teams, maybe he would get one. But I think an informed card would be pretty decent for this guy. Moving on to the defence, and this was the hardest point of today, of this week's Team of the Week, and we have Christophe Jallet. He plays for PSG. And PSG, I'm not quite sure of the team. I think it was Evian. I may have got that wrong. But he got a clean sheet and an assist in their 1-0 win. So played a fairly important role in that game, shall I say. Moving on to the second centre-back, we have a silver. And that player is called Leobardo Lopez. He plays in the Mexican league for this team. I think it's Malone. I'm not quite sure. But they played the Tigers team, I think. I'm not quite sure of that, but they played a team a lot higher placed them, and they actually won 1-0, and he got a clean sheet and a goal. So I think he's going to get an informed card. He had a very, very good game. Moving on to the final defender, thank God, we have this guy, Wellington. He plays for Malacca, and he got 1 goal, and I was trying to find, it was finding really, really difficult to find a centre-back or any defender to fit in this team. But I decided to go with him because he had a fairly decent game. They didn't get a clean sheet. They won 2-1, and he got the, I think he may have got the winning goal. I'm not quite sure, but he's had quite a decent season as well, partnering up with, I'm not quite sure of the other centre-back, Damascus. Oh no, I think I got it completely wrong. But they've had a fairly decent partnership and been doing pretty well in the Liga BVA. So I think getting a goal is, and he played fairly decent in the game, that he's got a chance to get an informed card. So let's move on to the midfield, and the first player is going to be Tim Cahill, the player who plays in the MLS, the Australian. And he plays for Red Bull, New York Red Bulls, and he got 2 goals as a centre mid in their 2-something win. So he played an important role in the game. Moving on to the centre mids of this team, the first player is going to be this player Diego, the one who plays for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. He got 1 goal and 2 assists in their 3-1 win at the weekend. So again, played a very, very important role in that victory. A goal and 2 assists, so made most of the goals, and had a fairly decent game throughout the game. I watched a bit of the highlights and stuff like that, and he was kind of dominating the midfield. Moving on to the next centre mid, we have another silver player, plays in the Barclays Premier League, and we have Jordan Henderson. I keep getting my players mixed up here. He plays for Liverpool, and Liverpool, if you did not know, beat Newcastle 6-0, which was a pretty big thrashing, to be honest. And he got 2 goals and an assist, so played fairly decent. Henderson, Sturridge, and the player we're coming up to next all have a chance of getting informed. I didn't put Sturridge in the team, mainly because I didn't actually think he played that well himself. He got goals that were kind of easy to finish, shall I say. They weren't the hardest, but let's move on to the final player in the midfield, and we have the other Liverpool player, Coutinho, the Brazilian, recently transferred, and he had an absolutely amazing game, guys. He got man of the match. He got a various amount of assists. I'm not quite sure because he played part in most of all the goals, basically, and he was unfortunate not to get a goal himself. So I think he deserves an informed game. He had an absolute fantastic game, and he looks like a fairly decent card as well. So it'll be interesting what his stats are like if he does get an informed card. And let's move on to the attack, and the first player is going to be his player Osvaldo. Plays for Roma in the Serie A, and he got a hat-trick, so enough said about him. He's already got an informed card, getting a hat-trick. He looks more of a centre-forward player with a slower pace and a better shot and heading and stuff like that. And moving on to the attackers, we've both got players who have, who have got hat-tricks, and I think, jogging that back, it's already reminding me of a player I've missed out on the subs, my bad. But the first player is going to be this player, Benitez. This could get him his 3rd informed card, and he got a hat-trick. Again, I think it's probably like his 5th hat-trick of the season or something. I'm not quite sure, but he played really, really well at the weekend. And the final player is going to be Clarence Huntelaar, plays for Schalke. He got a hat-trick and an assist in their 4-1 win at the Monday night, I think. So again, played very, very important role and a hat-trick, and he'd be a fairly decent informed card, I think. And jogging that memory back, As you can see there, that's the starting 11. But we've also got a good shout for Benteke, the second inform card of Benteke. He got a hat-trick. And we're not quite sure if he's going to be a silver inform, second inform card, or he's going to be moved up to a gold inform card, which would be very, very interesting indeed. Started Glenier, I think the Lyon centre attacking mid last weekend got upgraded to a gold inform card. So it's going to be pretty interesting what the team's going to be like tomorrow, guys. So guys, remember, if you got any suggestions, remember to put that in the comments. I enjoyed reading them, seeing if I've missed any players, any of your guys' suggestions. I've already said why I haven't put Sturridge in the team. Some of you guys may want to have had Sturridge, but I just think he didn't play that well in terms of his individual self. And guys, just remember, these are only suggestions, only predictions. This is definitely not the team of the week coming out tomorrow, so don't just judge all the people coming out tomorrow, hoping to get informed cards and stuff like that, depending on the players here. So guys, this is the end of the episode. Again, if you've got any suggestions, put that in the comments, hit that like button and subscribe for more. This has been Chronic Rush. Till next time, adios.